for women, simple tasks like going for a jog or walking to your car can feel unsafe, especially when it's dark out there. So there are a few simple things you can do to protect yourself in these situations. So joining me this morning is, of course, the self-defense expert, the man himself, the legend, Marcus Cull from Systems Training Center. You are here to show us some of the moves we really need to know to make sure that we stay safe.
Yes, and you know, it's important to understand different scenarios, different environments, and what to do. But knowing some basic self-defense not only comes with a great skill set to have, but also the peace of mind and knowing that you know how to take care of yourself in a real-life situation.
All right, let's start with this. First of all, we have Maria here, distracted on her phone, walking along the street. She's an easy target. We see so many people like this, and her purse is a target as well. So what if something happens and an attacker tries to get her purse? What should she do?
She's doing the right thing right here, actually. To be honest, when it comes to materialistic things, give it up. Things can escalate very quickly. If she's really fighting and trying to get it back, you know, he might have a knife, a gun, and things will escalate. So when it comes to materialistic things, you have about a 90% chance of survival. Give it up. She did a great thing, taking the phone, start filming the perpetrator, and get some footage of that.
All right, and what about Aroxia here, who is minding her business, going out about doing her errands, and then if an attacker wants to scare her, try to get her, what should she do?
So if Anthony comes back here and grabs her and tries to pull her, say, into a car, for example, now we're looking at an abduction. Those statistics, exactly,
so that's
I like that.
Kicking in, okay.
So, and that's exactly what she wants to do.
Sorry, was I supposed to do
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So when it comes to an abduction, those statistics are basically reversed. You have about a 10% chance of survival. Now you do want to fight back. So if I borrow Anthony,
come on over
if you come in here, so as soon as someone grabs, that means he's going to have to occupy both his arms to try to pull me, right? If I try to resist and he's bigger and stronger, that's not going to work. Strike. Because he's going to have to let go and start defending himself. That's when you can create space. And you always want to look for vulnerable areas, groin.
Yeah, try this again. Stand right here in the light so everyone can see.
This is my state of being, always on the
And I was going to say, first and foremost, awareness is part of self-defense.
Yeah.
Get off your phones in areas. Now,
so
as soon as he does that, exactly.
I physically want to hurt him right now.
So you can simulate the punches, but you also want to look for groin kicks and knees to the groin as well.
Okay.
Because those are the type of targets. It doesn't matter if he's bigger and stronger than you, it's still going to hurt him.
So never pull back.
Because
just go in, actually.
Forward.
Exactly. You want to go with the force because you're never going to get attacked by someone who's smaller and weaker than you, right? It's going to be someone who's bigger and stronger. It's trying to take you somewhere for a reason.
That is something you have to train yourself, though, because naturally, if someone's attacking me, I don't want to be going toward them. I want to be going away from them.
You're right. The initial instinctive movement is going to be to try to pull away. Once you realize you can't, now say you can, right? Pull your arm free. But a lot of times people don't realize self-defense means you need to counterattack. You need to change the mindset of the situation where you go from being the victim to the aggressor. Make him stop focusing on what he's trying to do to you and have to start worrying about what you're doing to him.
And how about if he's attacking her from behind? So she's totally blindsided and he comes for her.
So say he grabs from here. So what you want to do is called base and space. Very common. We think that, and even like stomping to the foot with high heels. The thing is, what we have to remember, he also has adrenaline pumping. He's not going to feel that very much. So what you need to do first and foremost is make sure you don't get lifted off the ground. You do that by doing what's called base and space. You're going to drive your hips back and your arms forward.
Well,
so,
I can't really push.
Yes. Forget your phone right now. So in reality, let me take the phone, but in reality, throw your phone if you have to. Right? Just drop it and focus on the fighting part. So if you go, exactly, hips back, and Anthony's very, very strong. He competes in weightlifting. So just show one time how easily you can lift her up. So right from here. Now, from here, what I want you, so if you drop your hands down, so the arms over. So now when he tries to do, you bring your hips back and arms forward. Once you've done this, now you're going to start striking to the groin. And you also have headbutts. Don't forget.
I was just thinking that. I was like, I would totally headbutt him.
And especially when it comes to attacks on women, most of the time, the attacker is going to be close to you. We have to remember that in a real-life situation, headbutts, biting, whatever is available to you, do whatever you have to do.
Did you say biting?
Biting.
Because that's my specialty. No,
and this is something, Marcus, you say that takes practice, so it becomes second nature. So this could be kind of like your excuse to work out, but just do these moves because you can actually learn something and benefit from it, just repeating how to do these moves. Repetition matters, right?
Of course, like anything in life, if you want to get good at it, we have to practice. And especially when it comes to stress, you are going to be under high stress. So when you have that fight, flight, and you have adrenaline pumping through your system, you don't have time to think, right?
All right, what if I get knocked down?
So if you're on the ground, so say you're on the ground, on your back on the ground here, and honestly, this is, if Anthony, you go on top here.
This is what every woman is afraid of,
and it is the most common way that unfortunately women are killed, right? So if the hands are around the throat here for a choke, for example, so what you want to do from here is called a pluck and a buck. So you're going to drive your hips up as high as you can, and at the same time you're going to, so you see what happened with his hands here? Now he's able to base out. So if we go back to the position with the hand around the throat, so from here, you're going to pluck with the hands at the same time and do this motion. Now you want to roll over. So if
this way?
So yes, you're going to go over one side. So buck, pluck, and take him. Imagine you throwing him towards me with your hips. Yes, good. Now, from here, now it's what we call a dog fight, right? You got to push off and get back to your feet. You always want to get back to your feet. And what's called a technical stand-up. So if Anthony, you do it to me real quick, from this position, his hands are around my throat, right? So means he doesn't have a base. I'm going to place one foot over his foot, and as I do the pluck, I'm going to take him sideways. Once I get to this position, now I can start striking down, right? So I can free myself. If for some reason you end up kind of sideways, you want to do what's called a technical stand-up, where I get to one hand, one foot, and I can get to here. Now I can get back up, but I'm not turning my back on my attacker.
Again, thank you so much for these life-saving skills and tips. This is something we definitely need to practice. All of us as women trying to stay safe, everyone out there in your community, this is certainly something you have to be aware about. So if you want to learn more about Marcus and all of his amazing work that he does, and check out his online defense class, you can go to yourkravmaga.com.
Yes.
Right? And you do such amazing work. Thank you for your activism and your just generosity and teaching skills to people who really need it the most. We appreciate you. All right, we'll have much more after the break. We'll be right back. We got to practice.
I have a question on that. Once she got him off, should she run?
Yeah,
or
run or
actually be
fight.
hitting? I feel like